Hello and welcome. The map is Ohana. Our players, in the bottom right hand corner as the blue Protoss, we have LGIMFirst. And in the top left corner, playing as a red Zerg, known for unbelievable creep spread, it is LiquidTLO. LiquidTLO, I say! I don't know why, but it seems like every single really good Protoss versus Zerg map seems to happen on Ohana, with very rare exceptions. I don't know what it is about this map. Maybe it's just because everyone enjoys playing on this map. Maybe it's because this map is just so good. And maybe it's because some people think this map means bacon, and therefore it has to be played on. Because what would we do without bacon? I ask you, what would we do without bacon? We'd make a bacon substitute. That is what we would do. Because you have to have something like bacon, because if you didn't, one just wouldn't be able to live. Just wouldn't be possible. One must have bacon. It's one of the laws of the universe. I think I've told you that. I think I have told you that. We have lots of overlords and drones being produced and probes, and we have a pylon at the natural. Looks like we have a probe in position to block off the hatchery, but it's going to be spawning pool first out of LiquidTLO, which is not very rare, especially against Protoss, because they can block off that natural quite a lot. So the Zerg says, fine, block it off, I'll build a spawning pool instead. Have fun waiting there while no drone arrives, I say. Probably going to have an expand first out of LGIMFirst. And we've got a probe just checking out the base, heading over to block the hatchery that will soon be going down, and there we go, we have Nexus first out of first. I loved saying that, Nexus first out of first. Sometimes you just get those amazing moments where you get something fun to say, and it's all worthwhile. Seeing as Heart of the Swarm will be out soon, I want you guys to tell me what you think about it. Personally, I can't wait. I am super excited about casting some Heart of the Swarm games, and it looks like TLO's saying, fine, you've annoyed me enough, you pesky little probe, blocking off my hatchery, fine, I'll just go to my third expansion. Which is good for the Protoss player, because it's going to be harder for TLO to defend this. Anyway, back to the Heart of the Swarm thing. Ooh, lots of lings. Back to the Heart of the Swarm thing again. I keep getting sidetracked here. I'm getting sidetracked for my sidetrack. So let me know what you think about Heart of the Swarm. I am exceptionally excited to looking forward to casting some of that Starcraft 2 action in Heart of the Swarm. We might see a pylon block here. Either that or these lings are going to get inside. Is that probe going to hold position over there? Yes, he is. It's quite a long time until that cannon finishes up though. Oh, lings, get inside! This is not a good time for World First. He's going to have to force a cancel on that cannon. There we go. Pulling probes now to deal with these lings. This is a very annoying situation for LGIMFirst. And I'm thinking TLO is quite happy with himself. It's always nice if you can get those lings into your opponent's base, because they are really irritating to deal with. And we have a third base going down at TLO's natural. Don't see that every day. We have a whole bunch of Zerglings picking on probes. A couple of probes going down. How many have actually been killed already? We have one worker killed for one. Ooh. There we go, the cannon's just finished up, and it's dead again. This is a horrible position for first. Looks like he might just be able to finish off this Zergling, but he might have to wait until... Ah, there we go, we've got a Zealot. That Zergling's not going to know what hit it when that Zealot catches up, eventually. Yeah, Zealots, you know, they needed to take up that marathon training. It can be quite difficult at times. And we have the second base, even though it's actually just the third for TLO up, as well as his third at his second base. Lots of probes transferring. We have a cybernetics core going down as well. It looks like the game is going to start to stabilize after all that craziness with lings in the base. And we still have one ling just being irritating, just running around. Ooh, bit of a misclick there. Looks like he might get picked off by the Zealot, or we're just going to have to wait until a Stalker pops out. He might be... No, he's not going to be dumb enough to run past this cannon. Sometimes Zerglings can be pretty stupid. It happens, you know. But not this Zergling. He's the smart Zergling. He's the lonely survivor of all the Zerglings. He knows what's best. He knows how to survive. And how to survive does not include running past deadly cannons. And TLO is going to work on taking down these rocks with a couple of lings now. Still no speed on the way. Ooh, we have a Stargate out of first. Where's that going down? There it is. We now have a Stalker finally out, picking off that ling. He's a survivor no more. He has joined his brothers in death. Brothers and sisters, I suppose. I'm sure you get female Zerglings or something. Who knows? Yeesh. Those two lings have their work cut out for them. Taking on those rocks, just smashing their head against it, and eventually it will go down. We have a Roach Warren on the way for TLO, as well as Lairtech. We have a Stalker going towards the third, going to meet a Queen. Hit it a couple of times, but there are a couple of Zerglings, and the Stalker is on creep, so he needs to get off of that. We still have no speed out of TLO, so first can micro against this quite well. A couple of drones might get sniped. One drone, maybe? One? No! The drone is surviving! The drone lives! It lives, I say! It lives! The drone lives. Will wonders never cease? And we have a couple of Phoenix on the way. We might see a Void Ray eventually. A couple of Queens could get picked off, maybe. Stalkers have to be careful of these lings, of course. But a couple of Roaches will be on the way now, so this will shut down this little bit of harassment, which actually hasn't done all that much, but it has let him get a little bit of information. He now knows that Roaches are out. He may lose one Stalker. Will he lose a second Stalker? No, he will not lose a second Stalker. At least not yet. It looks like TLO is heading towards our Protoss player's base. Looks like it's just pure Phoenix for now. We have a Robo on the way as well. 3 gateways, +1 weapons is almost done. It's just a little bit over halfway. We have 3 Stalkers out. A poor Zealot has lost his life to Zerglings. A couple of Zerglings might get inside. This Stalk has been mismicroed a little bit. It's getting blocked off by lings, and it will go down! He may try and work on these rocks and get inside, or he may just go back. Indeed, it looks like he's choosing to go back for now. And these rocks still getting taken on, but this time by Roaches. The mighty Roach shall destroy those rocks. A couple of Phoenix out. They will take down this Overlord, but that will alert the mighty TLO of First's crazy plans for some airplay. It will supply block TLO, but for a little while at least. So that's all good for First. A whole bunch of Overlords have been recalled. Look at them all, just hanging over this natural expansion, just puking creep all over the floor. Overlords make terrible roommates, I'm telling you now. No one likes a roommate that pukes all over the floor. And then justifies it as giving people a speed boost. That's not nice. It's just gross. It really is. We have a Spire and Burrow on the way now for TLO, as well as the ability to move while burrowed, getting research for the Roaches. A couple of drones will get picked off. The Queens might pick off a Phoenix. We have a Spore Crawler out as well, but indeed that Queen looks like it's going to get picked on today. But it shall survive. It shall survive indeed. We have a lone Void Ray out now, joining the pack of Phoenixes on the hunt, on the prowl for all those TLO units. And we have a third Nexus coming up for First. Just a lonely Roach heading on over to the fourth, scouting on around, making sure nothing absolutely insane is going on. Apart from the Phoenixes picking off all of TLO's stray Overlords. It's not a good time to be away from the base if you're an Overlord. It's never a good time to be away from the base unless there are no anti-air units. But hey, that is very unlikely. We have a Void Ray going to annoy some Roaches. A couple of Roaches will get picked up by Phoenixes and will go down, but this is going to be quite a big attack. He does have a couple of Immortals out though, so this should be able to be shut down. But it might still do some damage. The question is, will he go for here or will he go for the third? Looks like he's going for the third indeed. Couple of very nice force fields from the sentries, cutting off of the Roaches. And burrow and escape is what they choose. We have an Observer on the way for First. Unfortunately, his own force fields block him from chasing down the Roaches. But those Roaches move quite quickly, so he couldn't really do that anyway. Lots of Roaches now streaming forward. A single Observer just seeing all these Roaches streaming forward. A fourth now up for TLO. I'm actually surprised that his creep spread hasn't been more effective. Bit of a big battle. Force fields aren't really doing much because all of the Roaches are in this side anyway. Looks like a couple of roaches will get picked off by phoenixes, chased down by maybe a couple of zealots as well. We have an infestation pit now on the way for LiquidTLO. He may go for hive tech. He may try to get broodlords. It's always good to see some broodlords. We have another engagement now. The force fields just seem to be working against First some of the time, unfortunately, because TLO can just burrow and move under them. A couple of more roaches will get picked off as they are rallied there, and they will die for being rallied there. One lone roach going to head on over to the third base, but it will die very, very soon. Will it even manage to take out a single probe? Yes, it will take out a probe. No, it's not focus firing, so no, it's not even going to take out a single probe before it loses its life for no probes. Bunch of roaches are burrowing and running away. LGIMFirst supply is quite even with TLO. TLO going for a counterattack, probably at the third. He might do quite a lot of damage, but First is in position to shut down a couple of TLO's bases himself. Looks like he's going for the attack now. Pressing forward, destroying everything he can. Huge drone transfer, trying to be a bit safe. And now the roaches have just arrived to pick off this third base, while First is going for the heart. Taking out every single one of TLO's buildings. That is his life goal. He wants to kill everything. These are First's units, and they want to destroy all Zerg life with the name TLO attached to them. And it looks like that's what's happening. Huge drone just messing around, not really mining at all because their base has been under siege, and they are now stuck in death, and a couple of roaches still alive, finally picking off the third base of First, a couple harassing the worker line of First in his second base, and his third base. So First has no economy at the moment. He needs this push to work. It looks like we have a bit of a base race on our hands. We have lots of drones transferring over to a fourth, though, so TLO is still able to mine, while First is not. We even have probes pulled off the line. They are, in fact, battling it out at TLO's base. We have a Void Ray picking off a single roach. A couple of Overlords puking all over the place. Looks like it's going to get quite close with TLO behind in supply, but at least he is able to mine, though these air units will deny that quite quickly. First has lost his last Nexus, it appears. It looks like this layer is going to be going down now. All these roaches look like they're going to run back and try and shut down First. I'm not sure if that is the best idea, but it might just be the best idea. Quite a lot of units, though. One Immortal seems to have been kept alive this whole time. He is a master. He has 16 kills. So he is walking with a bit of swagger in his step, because he's got 16 kills. I mean, wouldn't you walk around if you had 16 kills, just with a sick "I have got 16 kills" t-shirt and everything? Lots of roaches engaging, but they are all going to die. It's nice force fields. Burrow used to get underneath the force fields, making them useless. Looks like TLO is just going to keep burrowing and unburrowing, trying to get a few hits off without losing any roaches. He's microing to the best of his ability. We have 2 hatcheries going down now at First's own base. But First has the unit advantage. A couple of drones now. One of them's going to turn himself into a hatchery, because that's what drones do best. They turn themselves into things. And LiquidTLO says GG! It is First's victory. I hope you enjoyed. Cheerio.